Hello, everybody.
Hey, Carl, it's good to see you.
Hi,
Nice,
Carla.
nice to see everyone.
Okay, we are live streaming. We have 25 people. That's more than a quorum. And auto transcript. So we are auto transcripting, we are recording, and we are live streaming. Who is better than us? Okay, 7:05. Welcome everybody to the April meeting of the Crystal McAuliffe Intermediate School, PTO. Welcome, welcome. This is our second to last PTO meeting. The June meeting is usually a welcome to the new parents. We're going to do some homework. We're going to do some, housekeeping stuff, and then we will get to the meat and potatoes, which will be a really small, short presentation and mostly question and answers about what's coming on the next couple of months. Do not need to sign in. Not to see none. We're not really voting on anything. Next month will be Carla. This will be a big thing next month. We'll have to do that whole thing where we sign in and verify everybody because we're going to have elections. Okay, so I'm going to do a screen share and let us go over the minutes. Alrighty. Are you viewing the minutes? Yes, thank you. So I'm going to make a motion that we waive reading. Now, these minutes were sent out along with the agenda and the agenda as well as a treasurer report. I will leave it on the screen so everyone can take a look. And we could read them to ourselves. And then if anyone has any questions, we'll answer them.
While you're going over that, I'd just like to add that I do happen to have the specialized high school data.
Nice.
I do have a file on my computer, so I can share with you.
Yeah, we could do that in the principal's report. Yep.
Anything you'd like to know.
That's wonderful. Yeah, we're
be happy to do that.
okay. Does anybody need more time to look at the minutes? If you do, put it in the chat. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. Okay. All righty. Can I make a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion.
Thank you. Thank you. Second, someone? Thank you, Kim. Okay, great. Let me get rid of this. Madeline, you want to screen share yours? You want me to screen share it on mine and you want to read it?
Can you screen share it on yours, please?
I can. Let me just report. You see it?
I do. Okay.
Just let me know when you want me to scroll down.
Okay, so we began our beginning balance as of March 15th, 2022 was a little over $87,000. It was $87,054.57. We brought in $374 in membership dues. So our total income from the period was actually $21,644. $6,200 of that was from vaccine referral. A lot of the money was also from our snack shack our wonderful snack shack that the PTO has been running. And a lot of the gala money has been coming in, our exciting May 6th gala, which Kim will be discussing a little bit later. Vito, can you scroll down, please?
Mhm.
Okay. And also a lot of our expenses, we had expenses totaling $2,327.20. It was mostly for Snack Shack. We spent, now that probably is incorrect. Our total expenses was actually $29,210.19. My apologies. We
Oh, I
spent,
see.
yes, we spent $11,685 on some beautification for IS 187. We spent $2,315 on some gym equipment, $463 on some more gym equipment, and we spent $3,900 on Ryan's story and for our assembly. And the rest of it was Snack Shack and just certain reimbursements having to do with gala. So we ended our balance as of that date's wrong, at $79,488.38.
Thank you.
Does anyone
Yeah,
have any
I was-
questions?
I was very happy with that. That $6,200 is like a gift from God. We really didn't do much of anything. We didn't really advertise that. People just were able to pick a drop-down menu, and they saw us because we're a PTO, we're in the IRS approved charities, and what did we say? So 62 parents decided to choose us because there was nothing else better to choose. And I was like, it was found money, we were so happy to put that toward the beautification project and the other kind of things we need for the school.
Yes, thank you, parents that did
Yes.
that.
We had people from out of the country, but from like all over, like that just liked our school, maybe from a video or something, and they actually put us down. Is pretty funny. Sometimes we get Facebook donations that way too. And also, the fund balance is 80,000. Before June, we have to do a preliminary budget. Historically, we've rolled over about 50,000. And we're pretty flush because we didn't spend much the last 2 years. And so, we're asking for stuff to spend. If we do really well in the gala, we really could have a lot more to give to our next PTO, and we could figure out where we want to, pad the budget for next year. We want to save more than we usually do in case the good times come to an end. But if there's stuff that we want to have available for next year, maybe we want to talk about having, instead of 50,000, maybe we do 60 or 65,000, depending on what's available for us to spend, because we don't want to spend it just to spend it. And we got a lot of good news, and I'm going to stop sharing right now and just segue. Talk about. So a lot of the senior items. So the senior items coming up is the dance, which historically the kids have paid for, but we're in discussions with having some kind of a subsidy from NEA to try to pay some portion of that. So I have a discussion on Friday with the venue to see what the price is and what's the maximum number of kids they can accommodate. And once we figure out those two items, we can figure out how much, or if NEA can help us to fund.
NIA.
Thank you. I said NEA. That's
Yes,
something.
twice.
I apologize. So graduation, I spoke to the owner of the venue today, Mr. Newman. We're on schedule for that for June 23rd in the morning. We'll have a meeting next month to go over the particulars. We're probably going to look to do what we did last year, which is to videotape it, live stream it, and videotape it. And we also contracted with the photographer that will take pictures of the kids as they come up, shake Mr. Berman's hand, take a picture with the diploma, and then that'll be out there, and they'll be able to download the pictures of that. That's always 3 years ago, we did that. We didn't do it the last 2 years. So yes, May 17th, our next PTO, we have elections for all of the spots, as well as for 3 open SLT positions. And we do have the nominating committee have a few people that are interested. So we are going to have a breakdown of who the interested parties are. They'll have a bio, and we will also put out a general call for anybody else who would like to apply. You have to be a current parent. If you're watching this and you're not a current parent, if you're coming in next year, you can't, we want you involved next year, but you can't get involved until then. So talking about high schools, I know Mr. Berman's going to talk about the how many kids got into which schools. We don't know who's getting into the other high schools, the screened high schools, and the other programs. That's coming out, I believe, in June. I had the honor of going to City Hall when the mayor and the chancellor announced their expansion of the gifted and talented program. And I also spoke to them at another meeting when he spoke about his big plan to have one additional specialized high school in each borough that will be populated, not the way that the present schools are with the SHSAT, but rather through the top 7% metric that they had proposed for the other schools, but that didn't go over so well. So we'll have SHSAT schools, we'll have top 7% schools, and then we'll still have some screen schools. So we're talking about really capturing these children in a whole bunch of different ways, so that it's not just like one test deciding on whether or not you go to a particular program that you might like and be right for. And we know from Mr. Berman could really speak about this. We have kids that are great students and they do super well, and for some reason they didn't do super well on that test, and it's very, very competitive. And so we do need more seats, and just we want to get seats for as many people who qualifies, and as many of these kids who would do well. We have to keep pushing for that, and I'm going to do that even after I leave this thing on the CEC and whatever else I do. It's going to be my main focus. My main focus is going to be that. So John Halligan, May 11th, that's the suicide prevention program. We're going to do 2 programs during the day, and then we're probably going to have a virtual program in the evening. We just feel that probably there'll be more participation doing it virtually. I thought about doing it blended, but then, we really haven't practiced that. I would have to do a Zoom and then stream it from the school instead of like this remotely. And the logistics of it really might just be a little bit too difficult to do on the fly, because we really we haven't been doing that, for the last few months. I mean, ideally going forward next year, it'll be a hybrid, except for elections, of course. It'll be a hybrid meeting where people are Zooming in, people are streaming, and people are also there at the school. I believe also that as far as elections next month, I think you can't do blended for elections. So I think probably it's best to do everything virtually. We could do the polls. We could, it just gets a lot easier to do that if we need to have an actual election and count ballots. So with that being said, I'm going to open it up. There's anybody in the chat for us?
Mr. Berman seems to be answering the questions while you were talking.
There we go. Wonderful. Well, then, Mr. Berman, we'll do our double team thing where we're
a great team.
Bounce back
Always.
and forth. So, Mr. Berman, go ahead. You take it
Hi,
over.
everyone.
If anything comes up, we'll be happy to address it.
Thank you. And it's good to see and hear everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you all had a good holiday, Passover, Easter, whatever you celebrate or not. I hope it was good. I hope it was restful and relaxing, and you got to spend some quality time with your kids. I know that there was a question about some specialized high school scores. We can go over that. I know middle school schools have been informed of the students who received offers to their middle schools. We are currently reviewing that data to make sure that the numbers that they sent us were correct and so forth, and working all of that out. I do not have a timeline for when parents will receive their middle school offers. I do expect it to be sometime in June, as Mr. LaBella said. As far as high schools, I do have the specialized high school data that I can share with you, and I'll share with you what I think is basic data that folks want to know about. And then if you have any questions about the enrollment, I'm happy to try and answer any of them. So, and then we'll talk a little bit about a budget this year, for this year and next year. Not a lot going on yet with that because they haven't been released. But to get back to the specialized high schools. So we had a total of 253 eighth graders sit and take the specialized high school exam. Out of those students, and I'm going to, unfortunately, I don't have the data for LaGuardia for some reason. So I'm not going to be able to include that. But out of the 253 students who took the test, 181 students received an offer to one of the specialized high schools, which comes out to 71%, which is pretty good. It's a little bit lower than it is typically. And we have ranged as high as 88 or 90, perhaps even 90% in years past of students receiving a seat. And this year it was 71%. There were 4 schools that are represented in these data, and I'm assuming that these are the only schools that children received offers to. I'm not assuming that children didn't get offers to LaGuardia. I'm not sure why that's not in this spreadsheet here. But I can tell you that 3 students were accepted to Brooklyn Latin, which is a very small percentage, 1 or 2%. 82 students were accepted to Brooklyn Tech. That's 32% of the 8th graders who took the exam. To Staten Island Tech with 37 students, which is about 14%. And Stuyvesant, 59 students at 23%. So there may be other students who do go to these schools, perhaps through other programs that they may be eligible for. Not really sure about that, whether it's Discovery or those other programs. But these are the data that we have right now for the specialized high schools. So does anybody have any questions about that?
What was the highest score that our kids got? 700 something, I bet.
Oh, that's a good question. I can tell you that. Let's just look at the composites. The highest. Oh, wrong way. The highest score was 680. Did that answer your question?
Kenneth, I think so. I was reading in the chat.
Oh, LaGuardia did not come out until June. Okay. Thank
Only
you.
5,000 kids applied, okay.
How
Yeah, if
many
anyone's-
normally, how many normally apply to LaGuardia?
I don't know, but I read an article that they're having
Yeah.
a lot of problems over there.
Oh, 15,000. Wow. That's down. Yeah, I've heard that, yes, it's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
So if by chance that
Uh,
your child didn't get into a specialized high school, you can take the test again in 9th grade for admission to sophomore year. I hear it's very, very competitive and very hard, but it's
Mhm.
hard anytime you do it.
Yeah. So yeah, 680 was the highest score for our school. Yeah. Great. Any other questions about the specialized high school or high schools? We can move on from there. If there's anything else that you'd like to know.
There's no SHSAT over the summer. It's next fall for 9th grade.
Mhm.
There's no more makeup test. There was a makeup test, but there's not a makeup test anymore for this year. And the makeup
That
test
is-
was if you were sick, not if you didn't do well.
Okay. I mentioned that I talk a little bit about our budget. The Galaxy system is currently closed while they do whatever end of year work they need to do on our budgets, and while they're preparing the new fiscal year budgets to be uploaded. They kind of do it in piecemeal. And initially, the budgets don't really have real money in it, but we're already looking at our programming for next year, looking to hire new teachers. I know that we'll need special education teachers for next year. Looks like we'll likely need a science teacher for next year. And then, pending whatever may happen between now and the end of the year. You never know, people who might retire, transfer schools, move out of state, whatever the case may be. Our staff tends to be very, very stable, but that doesn't mean that we don't have movement. And there are always opportunities for people. By the way, parents, if you do know any young folks or otherwise who would be interested in working at our school and they have a teaching license, please send me their resumes, send us their contact information. We love to get people who are referred to us through others. It's one of the best ways that we get people to come and work with our kids. We're very cautious and conscientious about people who we bring into our family and who we bring around our kids. And I'd love it to get some feedback and some input from parents. If you do know anybody, or perhaps even yourself, you're looking to change careers or something along those lines. So we'll be looking out for those positions, and I'm looking forward to sharing our new budget with the SLT and of course with the PTO once that new budget comes out. And I'm hoping that it includes a lot of extra money from Title I status that we are allegedly now entitled to. I don't believe anything until I see the money, but I do expect that it will be there, and I'll have lots of questions to ask if it's not. There's a very large parental involvement component that comes along with the funds through Title I. And if I remember correctly, it's usually about 1%. So comes out to about $10,000 that is specifically budgeted for parent involvement for different kinds of things that we might want to do together to improve the instruction our children receive and to improve our school. So there'll be opportunities for those things to happen. We've got the end of year is always super busy with activities, and we've got overnight trips now. It's kind of like everything was sort of pushed to the end of the year that we normally spread out over the course of the year because of the pandemic. We weren't allowed to do those things, but now, of course, that we're allowed to do trips, people want to do trips. The kids want to go on trips. 8th graders are graduating. They haven't been on a trip, a lot of them. They want to go on an overnight trip. So we've got all of these things going on, overnight trips and great adventure and graduation. We've got National Junior Honor Society going on. I know there was a question about the talent show. We're working on that with Mr. Savarese, and the carnival with NIA, and we are looking to change things a little bit. We normally would have senior awards assemblies along with a senior breakfast. And what we're contemplating this year, and I know we'll talk about it at our school leadership team meeting next year, is changing the way we do the awards and moving the awards from an informal academy only sort of meeting with the facilitator and the 3 classes to graduation, where they properly belong and where students who are receiving awards for outstanding achievement, service, character, and other qualities will be recognized at graduation. At the same time, we still want to have the senior breakfast for the students and for the families.
How do you envision that, Mr. Berman? Would you think we should do by academy, of course, but would like the first 2 periods, would the kids be able to come in and do something like that? And then would they have breakfast with their families and their friends, or just how do you see that?
I see it with family and friends. But again, we'll talk about that at leadership team. We'll talk about it with our SLT students and see what we want, see what they want. We'll see what the students want, because really it's very much about them. Yeah. And recognizing them. The awards assemblies basically turned into a way for the academies to have sort of a final sort of get together and goodbye. And while I think that's important, I don't think it's the best way to recognize a lot of the awards and the outstanding achievement. I think graduation is a better place for that. And so that's kind of what we're thinking about.
And the reason I asked, Mr. Berman, is because it's been a while since we've done this, right? We were doing McDonald's, and last time we did Bagel Boy, and Bagel Boy really wasn't up to the task, I don't think. So we really have to kind of find a vendor that can get us a kind of menu that we want. And so that's something that I guess we'll work on right after the gala.
Maybe let's try and find somebody that's closer, like My 3 Sons or something. They're right there. We can talk to them. Yeah. I was there today. They donated $100 to our gala, and I said thank you. I said
that's a segue if I ever heard one. Mr. Berman, may Kim and Manal speak.
Yeah, but by the way, I'm just real quick. Kim, did anybody hit up Lou over at Faiko's?
He gave us $25. I was not impressed with that, and I was there today, and I was spending money. I had to buy a $50 card. That's going in a basket. So, and I made sure he remembered. I'm like, yeah, you gave me 25. I'm here buying 50. Think about it next year. Yeah. Give us more.
Yeah. He's usually good for at least 50.
Yeah. I was disappointed. Right. Yes. But I was happy with My 3 Sons 100 because Lucy, if you're still here, they remembered you. They remembered you and Barbara Gay. And he's like, yeah, they're good. They're always here. And so you guys are why we got $100. Thank you.
Yeah. I did, in all fairness, I've been bringing my lunch for most of the school year. So I haven't been shopping much at Faiko's.
No, and that's what they, that everybody, it's hard. Everybody's being, a little bit tighter. We've had volunteers out and they've been struggling. They've been going, from store to store, restaurant to restaurant. And I mean, even Barbara had some huge event and she went and said, could you send me a gift card? And the guy's not taking her calls. It's, people are trying to make up for the lost 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. And Manal, you and everyone, your whole team for working so hard on this gala. And I'm really looking forward to it. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
It is. And everybody, please read the emails that we're sending out to you. And we're asking you to buy your tickets and not wait until the last minute, because we're doing pretty well. We've got about 130. We can take up to 250, but once we hit 250, it's done. So please don't wait until next Thursday to buy your tickets. It's a week from this Friday. And we'd love for you to be there. Manal, it's going to be beautiful. We're going to have a lot of terrific baskets that you can win. And also for those of you that can't be there, we have the mega raffle and we've sent the link and we'll continue to send the link. Grand prize is 2,500, but there's another prize of 1,000 and 500 and 250 and 50. So you have 5 chances to win. We're only selling 500 tickets. So please, read those emails, click on those links and think about attending. We've got a lot of teachers that are coming and we're so grateful that they're attending. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have great food. Mr. Altieri, the band teacher, is going to be there with some kids to perform. It's going to be a great night. So please consider coming. Please consider buying a raffle ticket. And Manal, please, do some more begging. Please help me.
I think you did a great job, Kim. And we are really excited about this. Everyone's been working so hard on the committee. And I think Kim said it really wonderfully. We're planning on having a great night with lots of raffles, opportunities to win great prizes. It's going to be a beautiful venue and a beautiful space, cocktail hour on the terrace. So we're really making it a nice event. We're hoping that you can all join us. And please get your tickets as soon as possible.
And just for all of you that do attend, Mr. Berman has donated mystery prizes. So you have to come just for that.
Oh, Mr. Berman, I actually wanted to ask you, would you ever want to raffle off a prize like a principal for a day, or a parent would pay for their kid to be principal for a day?
I don't know about that, but if somebody wants to take me out to dinner, I mean, no, I'm kidding. I would entertain anything that would engage the students and help our families. And yeah, sure.
Emails about the talent show is coming out soon. There was
great.
Yes, I'm meeting. I met with our team and we talked about a lot of things earlier this week. We talked about graduation, honor society, awards assemblies and things like that I shared with you. But we did not get to the talent show before time ran out. But I am meeting with Mr. Savarese later this week about the talent show. And I've already shared with him my expectations about the talent show, which are basically that there is one. So
I have to say, for most of the parents haven't seen a talent show because of COVID. Morgan was in 6th grade and that's when COVID hit. So the kids haven't seen it. And for parents that are here, it's not just the kids that perform. We had many staff members. We had Mr. Kestenbaum, Mr. Kaplan, Mr. Savarese with Ms. Verghese doing a duet. It was lovely. So I do hope we can do it, because watching you have some very talented teachers at this school.
We do.
Who knew?
We do. It is one of the more fun. All the events are fun, but particularly fun.
Just please don't let Vito sing. That's all I ask.
No. And I couldn't get Berman to do What's on First with me. Tried for 5 years to get him to do What's on First.
I think Mr. File. I think you and Mr. File, that might work.
We'd be fighting over Costello, though. That wouldn't work. I just want to back up on the chat. So Summer Rising, it's sold out like immediately. We had a special meeting with superintendent. If you tried to get into Summer Rising, most likely you were shut out. I mean, this thing was like, it was a very, very popular program, and a lot of people were disappointed. I don't know if they're going to try to expand it. The specific question, Mr. Berman, if you know, will they have one at 187 this year?
No, we are not having summer school at one. We are not a summer school site. Our
Okay.
summer school site is IS 259. So students from our school who attend summer school will be attending summer school at IS 259.
Is that because we have construction going on, or we don't know why, or?
No, the city is not opening for the last year or two, the city opened every school.
Right.
The city is not opening every school. They're opening select schools. They're going back to the model that they had before the pandemic, because it's too expensive to open up the schools, because, you know, one school may have a tremendous number of students, another school has a few students. So they combine schools based on the population of summer school students. And sometimes we're paired with Shallow over at 229. Sometimes at Diker, this year at McKinley at 259.
Mr. Berman, there's a question about, will there be an honor society induction for the 8th grade?
Yes, there'll be an honor induction ceremony for all students. All students are going to be new students, inducted students. In all likelihood, it will probably take place during the school day, but it will take place, and we're scheduling that. I want to say the tentative date for that, and again, tentative with a capital T, May 17th.
And there's a question about SAT prep through the NIA. I
Yes.
believe classes, a lot of kids get home after 3. And does it start at 3? They're saying, could it start at 3:30 because kids don't get home in time?
I don't know, and I don't know that it's virtual. I think it might not be virtual. It might be in person at NIA. I'd have to look that up. That I'm not sure about, but my understanding, I believe it's going to be in person. Let me see if I have any on that. You can look up some other questions in the meantime.
We have another parent asking, can you explain how parents are notified when lockdowns occur?
Yeah, generally we use Pupil Path or our email system to send things home.
And you guys did a great job with this subway incident. You know, we had students at Brooklyn Tech that the parents were not notified. You guys did a phenomenal job in letting us know what was going on.
Thank you. Thank you. I know it can be very, very stressful for parents, and when you don't know what's going on. So, and at any opportunity we can share with you, we will.
On
So
the, go ahead, Kim.
No, you see at the NIA, the SHSAT, it says they are virtual.
Okay.
So I guess
Okay.
some of the
So
kids
if
are
that's an issue for, if that's an
don't
issue
get
for
home. NIA.
Yeah, I'll have to bring that up with Mr. Hederman and see how that's been managed in the past.
The National Junior Honor Society, any child who's in 8th grade and who's a member will have a sash at graduation. The gowns are white, so we have a beautiful green sash. In the past, we've had plaques for 3-year participants. We're not going to do that because really everyone's everyone's in the same boat, so really we don't have that. That wouldn't be relevant. But we're excited. We give a little gift out. I think in the years past, we've given like I think we've given flash drives. out with the little National Junior Honor Society. So we try to give little swag to the kids. Yeah, so May 17th is when you're going to have the induction. So then you'll know exactly how many 8th graders we have to buy sashes for.
Yeah, they're working on going through the applications now and screening everything, making sure everybody who submitted something is meeting all the requirements and so forth. So, yeah.
Okay.
We're going to stick around, those of us that are on the gala committee, in case there are any parents that have questions about the event. So once the meeting is over, Vito, don't end it. We're going to stay here and answer any questions.
Right. I believe you said we have also translators involved. Yes?
Yes, we have parents here. Yes, for Chinese. Yes.
Okay, so there are any other questions that, anything, just throw it in the chat. Mr. Berman, do you have anything else?
No, I think I pretty much covered everything.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
okay, so we're going to, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting officially? I'll end the recording and then you guys can stick around. Thank you, Tim. Second. Thank you, man. Okay, great. So this is over. I'm gonna stop the recording. Yes.